This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
You know who I can do without? I can do without the people in the video store.
Which ones?
All of them.
This is Massive Late Fee with Mike and Mark.
Well, welcome back to Massive Late Fee, everyone. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Not too bad. And yourself?
Good. We've had a good week here at Massive Late Fee. Things are going well with the show, the network, all the stuff that I always say. If you want to get a hold of the show, do the whole Twitter thing, and at Massive Late Fee on Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. If you want to find Mike, Massive Late Fee Mike.
Late Fee Mike.
Yeah, Late Fee Mike on Twitter. And yeah, check out Retro Late Fee. What did we do? Oh, we did Airheads this week. I know your wife Alex is a huge fan of that movie, as am I.
Yeah, that's okay.
But into the news. Some interesting pieces of news here this week. We have, so the first one I know Mike is not going to care about at all, but some people out there, even though we insult you on a pretty weekly basis on this show, I'm sure there are still fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe out there that listen to our shows, and Spider-Man, or Spider-Man, as I like to call him, is no longer going to appear in the MCU films. Sony and Marvel reached a standoff. From what I've heard, and I think these are unconfirmed reports, but from what I've heard, Disney wanted a 50-50 equity split where they would pay for half the Spider-Man movies, the standalone Spider-Man movies, and Sony would pay for half of them, and then they'd split 50-50 the profits from those films. Sony countered with sort of close to the agreement that they've been going with so far, 5% of the first day sales, and which is obviously it's a lot different. And Disney said, yeah, we don't want to do that. So they couldn't get anywhere near a deal, and it looks like Sony is taking back Spider-Man to once again ruin the character.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Sony is the worst film company out there. I guess the PlayStation's still good, from what I hear, but their film company is absolute garbage. So good luck, Spider-Man fans, and we'll see what happens.
Don't worry, you'll have a new origin story in no time.
Yeah, exactly. The other big piece of news that came out today, these came out just today. We record this on Tuesday. You won't hear it till Thursday, but unless you're on Patreon, I guess, then you'll hear it sooner. But these both came out today. The Matrix is getting another sequel, The Matrix 4.
That was one of my stories I was going to tell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. And Keanu Reeves is back as well.
Yep, Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss. What I found interesting about the story is it says that Lana Wachowski is coming back to write and direct and produce the movie, but it doesn't say anything about Lily. I want to say Lily.
I think you're right.
So I tried to look up to see if they had any sort of falling out or anything like that. I couldn't find anything about it, but it's weird to me that they wouldn't mention her sister as well, since they almost always work together, and obviously worked together on the Matrix trilogy.
Yeah, I don't know of anything where they didn't work together on before.
I can't think of anything either, honestly. But yeah, interesting. So I don't know if Lily is going to be a part of it, and they didn't mention it, or if she just isn't interested in doing it, and Lana is. But the quote from Toby Emmerich, who is the chairman of Warner Brothers Pictures, said, "We could not be more excited to be re-entering the Matrix with Lana. Lana is a true visionary, a singular and original creative filmmaker, and we are thrilled that she is writing, directing, and producing this new chapter in the Matrix universe." No, it's so weird. Like, it's just that the exclusion of her sister is just weird to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think you need a Matrix movie past the first one, so I doubt I'll even see this at the theater. I mean, hopefully it'll be good, but I don't really have a lot of faith.
Yeah, I don't either, and I really don't like the second and the third movie, which sucks because I really like the first movie a lot. First movie is probably top 10 for me of all time, and the other two are terrible. But it's just, and it's a lot of pseudo philosophy and things like that, just stuff that is really dumb to me in the other two films. And
I like some of the action sequences, especially in Reloaded. Like there was like some cool like action type sequences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ghost twins and stuff were.
Yeah, I mean it was fun,
right?
But, I mean it was like pretty shitty in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and the whole thing, like the first movie ended with such an interesting cliffhanger where he talks about I'm going to let everyone know that they're basically talking about rescuing all of humanity and everything from the Matrix, and they never go back to that ever. And
well, he forgot.
Yeah, exactly. I think that for some reason the Wachowskis didn't realize why their movie was popular, what made their movie good, why everyone liked it, and they focused on some of the wrong things.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were like not. I don't know if it was. Like, a lot of people say, oh, it's a trilogy, but I mean, I wonder if it was initially meant to be a trilogy. I mean, the way it ends in the first one, kind of like, an open ending is much better than, the second and third movies combined.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I don't think they originally meant to do a trilogy. I think they meant to make one, and then it was a surprise success. Maybe they had some kind of vague ideas for where they would go in the future with it. It reminds me a little bit of Star Wars in that way, I guess. Where... Yeah, go ahead.
And I don't know if you're familiar with the Animatrix. Like, it's like a series of, like, shorts, like, of animated shorts they did for it.
Yeah.
Like, those were, like much more, like, tangential. They're, like, complementary characters. If they had done that for the sequels, it would have been much better, I think. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, like, it's like, oh, shit, what does Neo do now? I don't know. We're in a double Matrix. I mean, it was just, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, so this is one of those ones where I'll wait till it comes out to streaming, like I do with most things. I'm not going to go to the theater to see it. Even if people are saying, oh, it redeems everything, I'll probably still wait till it comes to streaming. But they're supposed to be filming that early next year. So, probably come out in 2021.
Yeah, something like that.
The last piece of news that I have, and I hope this isn't the other piece of news that you have, because it involves one of our favorite directors, Kevin Smith.
Oh, no, it's not. I know what you're going to say, but it's not that.
Okay. So he's announced that he is doing an anime He-Man series for Netflix. So, interesting. I'm really wondering... Is he going to... Now, I watched He-Man when I was a little boy, as many kids my age did. And, it sort of... For those of you that don't know, it's kind of a little cheesy, especially by today's standards. It's sort of, like sword and sorcerer type stuff, but very tame. Now, I wonder if Kevin Smith is going to keep that same tone. Is he going to inject his own tone? Is it going to be adult orientated? There's a lot of ways that this could go that I think could be interesting, and a lot of ways that it could go that could be horrifying.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember watching the cartoon when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I don't really remember much about it. I mean, I don't care about He-Man. I mean, do whatever you want. It just doesn't interest me, even if it's Kevin.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure He-Man doesn't hold up. If I watched it now, I'm sure I wouldn't think, oh, wow, this was groundbreaking animation.
No, it does not.
But I will probably check this out, at least an episode of it, just to see to see what he does with it and kind of where he goes with it. Like I said, I could see some interesting things if put into like a Clerks the Animated Series style type thing. Like I could see him doing something somewhat interesting with it. It also could just be a horrible marriage of things that really don't go together.
I don't see why they would even get Kevin Smith for this.
Yeah, I don't. His tone doesn't seem to go with the traditional tone of He-Man, but
yeah, almost is like a complete like reimagining. I mean, you don't really need like sharp dialogue in He-Man.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna get that crystal. No, you're not, He-Man. Well, we'll see.
And then,
I mean, that's like literally the tone of He-Man.
And then Orko just goes, "Hey guys, did you know that crystal originated in Batman comic number 57?"
Right.
That's where they align the crystal for the first time. Just yeah. I can't really see
I don't know, man. Like they'll be at like the comic shop, and like He-Man will be sitting there reading like a comic, and then Man at Arms will show up. Hey, He-Man, I think Skeletor's gay. What? I think I would watch that though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that if they go in that direction, I could see how it might be interesting. But I don't know. I don't know exactly where it's going to go.
Yeah, if they do that, though, it's a classic example of why use that property when you can just make up your own thing.
Exactly.
Or use Clerks.
Yep. Yeah, redo Clerks the Animated Series. I would love to see more episodes of that.
I think they did do more. Either that or it was a sequel to one of their movies. I really want to watch it. I just don't know where to find it. Kevin Smith, if you're listening, let us know.
Yeah, Kevin Smith, let us know. Or send us DVD copies or whatever.
And disregard everything Mark said about yoga hosers.
Yeah, that's true. You probably shouldn't listen to that part. I did. I was very complimentary of your daughter, though.
Not in a creepy way.
No. Just that they had good chemistry. Her and her friend Johnny Depp's daughter.
Yes.
I know their names: Harley Quinn and
Johnny Depp's daughter.
Lily Depp. I can't remember.
Johnny Depp Jr.
Yeah, Jonah Depp.
Jonah Depp.
All right, Mike. What was the piece of news that you have that I didn't get to?
I don't know if you had seen this or not, but I guess they started filming on Coming to America 2.
Oh, I did read a little bit about that, yeah.
Yeah, I guess Arsenio Hall is also included again, which is great because Arsenio Hall is like one of those actors that is really good, but you don't really know why. Like, he's not in a lot of stuff still.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whenever you see him pop up, he's always, like, fun and, like, charismatic and, like, like, you want to see him and stuff. He just doesn't show up a lot, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, his career had a really strange trajectory.
Yeah, like when he did his own show, like after that, it's like, I just haven't seen him for a while. I mean, I've seen him pop up and stuff. He was in one of the Apprentice seasons. He was pretty good on that. He seems like a genuinely like fun guy.
Yeah.
I don't mean a mushroom either.
But yeah, I would like to see a lot more of him too. He's tremendous in Coming to America, obviously, and I'm looking forward to this. This might be one of the few movies that I actually go out to the theater to see. I like Coming to America a lot, and I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, but if you think about the original Coming to America, what of those jokes can you use today? None.
Oh, that's true, for sure.
You can use, like, literal, like, oh, look, the prince has two women that clean his penis for him. Well, that's clearly a sexual harassment type issue. Oh, he's at a basketball game getting jerked off. That's a Me Too moment. He clearly, used his influence over the young girl to force her to...
Seriously, I would love to see if they went in that direction where it's just... Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall's character were getting Me Too'd and sued and stuff like that. It was like almost like a parody of Bill Cosby. That would be fantastic.
See, I'd like to see why they're coming back to America.
Yeah.
He's got it made.
Didn't he, okay, the first movie, he married her and didn't they go back to his kingdom?
Yeah, because at the end, like he thought he was marrying that woman who barks like a dog for him, but they took off the veil and it was, her. And then her family just suddenly pops up too.
Yeah, they all moved to that kingdom in Africa.
what's it called? Zamunda.
Yeah, Zamunda.
Yeah, I mean, I really love the first one. It's obviously a classic comedy movie. I just don't know. I mean, all that stuff is offensive to people now, or at least people pretend it's offensive because they want people to think they're a good person.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're going to go for. I mean, I honestly think they're going to go for it. I think they're going to go for the same tone. I hope they do. If they don't, then that's sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
And Donald Trump agrees. Sad.
Randy Watson.
Yeah, even the Soul Glow stuff would probably be frowned upon now.
Right.
Let your soul glow. So that is the news for the week. We will move on to, what do we do now? Oh, dumpster diving. Mike, did you watch the episode of Full House that we're doing?
I did.
Oh, God.
I watched it like less than an hour ago.
So, for this week on dumpster diving, I decided to torture Mike with an episode of Full House, season 6, I think, episode 7. It's called Trouble in Twin City.
Yeah, because, San Francisco is often called the Twin City.
Correct, exactly. But it guest stars Mark Lynn-Baker from Perfect Strangers, which I was pleased to see that the studio audience gave him an ovation.
Yeah, yes. Yep, as soon as he comes in, you hear them all go nuts.
That was great. Much due respect for Mark Lynn-Baker. But he plays...
Another person who kind of just disappears. You don't see him very often anymore.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He popped up in a movie, it was years ago, but he popped up in a movie in a supporting role that I was watching. And I remember I was watching it. I was watching this movie and I saw him and I was like, oh, holy shit, it's Gorson Larry.
Yeah, he was in like ER, like one of the episodes of that as well. But
yeah.
Aside from that, I haven't really seen him.
But yeah, so he stars as Becky's cousin, and he's a rich snob from Nebraska, which I guess is where Becky's...
Of all places.
Where Becky's originally from, I guess. All those rich people that live in Nebraska.
Warren Buffett and his friends.
Right. But anyway, so he comes and he's got 2 twin girls, and they came to San Francisco to be in some sort of twin competition that they're having.
It was the best twin, I think, competition or something. God. Twin of the year, twin off.
Yeah, people came from all over the country apparently to be in this. So weird.
Yeah, it's funny because even this show, like I remember it as being relatively tame, but it's really only tame for the time because there's like some really like stuff that you wouldn't like see these days in like shows.
Yep, absolutely.
Like I can't remember his what's his name, Danny, his girlfriend. I don't remember her name.
Oh yeah, I can't remember her name either.
But she's off like interviewing like the Chicago Bears, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah,
like, he's like the joke is obviously they're gonna like run a train on her or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's horrified because for the entire episode, his girlfriend is doing a report on women in the locker room with the Chicago Bears, and she's headed to Green Bay, Wisconsin, because I guess they're going to play the Packers. And he talks about she's going to be in the locker room with all these chiseled guys, all this stuff.
Right.
They also intimate that one of the Chicago Bears wears high heels.
Probably Jim McMahon.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. From that era, absolutely. But so the entire episode begins with their stupid Wake Up San Francisco show, and they've got a couple twins on there playing the harmonica together, and it's just the worst the worst thing you could ever imagine. And then they set up that there's going to be this twin competition. So Mark Lynn-Baker and his wife come in with their kids, and they're horrible snobs, and they clearly don't like Jesse. And Mark Lynn-Baker does an excellent job of playing a believable asshole, but not going over the top with it.
Right.
And he, he mentions just little snide comments here about about Jesse not having money or being refined in any way. And
this guy that Becky used to fuck, like he mentions him and shit like that.
Yeah, how he married some lady and he buys her a brand new car every year or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a Cadillac Coupe, is what he says.
Yeah, something like that.
It just seems like a terrible investment if you're just buying these every year.
Right. Yeah, he's not very good with money somehow.
He never really say how he's rich. I assume it's like corn, something related.
Right.
Or he's one of Warren Buffett's friends. Yeah, like he and his wife, they have these like 2 daughters, and they're just like terrible little assholes.
They really are. They come over and they've got. It looks like the Sega. What would they call that?
No, actually, what I think it is, and this is very weird, is it's the what the hell is it? The TurboGrafx 16 is what I think they have.
Oh, the handheld version of the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah, because it's huge. Like the thing they have is like huge for the time. And,
yep.
Well, first of all, when he shows up, he's like he doesn't know anybody there. Like he barely knows who Jesse is. They clearly have never met like their twins.
Mm-hmm.
But they just like they're like, we're in town. Well, but so they think that Joey is Danny for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And like this guy who they're like, I guess you're not him. Well, watch our kids for a few hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, the more you watch it, the more you realize Joey's just like a glorified babysitter.
Yep. Oh, for
like,
sure.
They probably give him like a huge discount on rent, just like fucking watch these kids all the time because Danny's never there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Joey is constantly watching the kids and regaling them with stories of when Alanis Morissette jerked him off watching a movie.
Oh yeah, that went down on him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so these kids like go into the room with Michelle for some reason because even though they're like kind of like Stephanie's age, they're still with Michelle, which is kind of funny because obviously she's a twin in real life. But then they immediately go on their video games, which take 0 time to boot up, and they have no graphics whatsoever on the screen when they're playing.
Right.
Yeah, so they're playing them, and they're like Michelle, and like 2 seconds into them playing, and they're playing like some game, like some wacky, like it's like something ballerina is in the title, like ballerina,
something like that. Yeah, some fighting game with ballerinas.
Yeah, so much like my 6-year-old, like they play it for like 5 seconds. She's like, "When's my turn?" And then they say, "When you buy your own game." What cracks me up about it is that Michelle's like, "Oh, this whole day is shot." It's like, just go do something else. I mean, they're occupied. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly. Why do you have to sit around with them playing?
It's not necessary at all.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they're complete assholes, obviously, which is never really resolved. I mean, they do
well,
one.
They say thank you later, but yeah.
Yeah, they do one line on it where Joey says, be nice to him because being nice is contagious, and they might be nice to you back if you're nice to them.
But what it actually says is be nice, they're your cousins, but in no way, shape, or form are they her cousins.
No, because they're Becky's cousins.
They're Becky's cousins' daughters.
Yeah, so they're Becky's. They're Becky's.
So her uncle's wife's second cousin is what they are to her.
Yeah, they're Becky. Well, they're Becky's. They're Becky's first cousins once removed. So
second cousins? Like I thought the daughter of the first cousin was the second cousin.
No, so the way it worked, I read up on this one time because I was really interested in this. So Alex, your wife, is my first cousin. Your children are my first cousins once removed because they're removed by a generation. My kids and your kids are second cousins.
Gotcha.
Because they're in the same generation. And if they have kids, then like if your oldest has a child, then that child would be like my child's second cousin once removed. And then if she has a child, then they'd be third cousins. And that's how it goes.
Fair enough.
But anyway, they're not even second cousins because they're only related by marriage.
Right. But whatever. I mean, this is the first time she's seen him her entire life, so why would you even bother being nice to somebody you'll never see? Right.
That's been an asshole to you the entire time they've been there.
Nothing but an asshole.
Right.
Another part is we forget that they go to dinner and like they're just like really like going over the top their threats at each other.
Yeah.
And so Jesse says he's going to get his because they offer to take him to the most expensive restaurant in San Francisco, which is probably by Nebraska standards quite a bit more expensive than you expect.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You're not just having Omaha steaks there, buddy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so they come back, and Jesse says he ate like 5 pounds of lobster, like to get revenge on him.
And he doesn't even like lobster.
Right, yeah, because then they kind of like, when Becky goes somewhere else, and I don't remember where his wife is, maybe she went to the car. But like they basically having a mano. He's like, yeah, if you were like my mechanic, I'd be fine, but you're not good enough to be my cousin. And then because they came to town to put their own daughters in a twin contest, why they would think those kids would be capable of winning any contest, I don't know.
Seriously. Maybe a The Shining Twins contest.
Maybe. But yeah, so then out of revenge, and what's funny, he's going to enter his own twins, Nikki and Alex. What's funny about that though is his wife is just does not care about any part of this whatsoever. But then she gets upset that he's using him for the purpose of getting revenge. It's like, you don't fucking care.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you go home and educate your kids so you have to buy their way to fucking college?
No kidding.
Which is all I think about whenever I see her on screen, which is hilarious.
It's funny too because he says at one point, Mark Lynn-Baker says that he wants to leave before someone steals his tires, and right. He's like, "Oh, a little joke," and he goes, "No, I'm really afraid of that." And I understand that. I guess Nebraska is probably safer than the quote big city, but where they live in San Francisco, where those houses are and everything, it's not like it's crime infested.
No, it's like the modern day value of the house is in the millions of dollars.
Oh, for sure.
It's not a bad area by any stretch.
No.
I mean, it's such an expensive house that you have to have a full-time fucking TV host, a full-time radio DJ, and some creepy guy who watches your kids from time to time supporting it.
Right, exactly.
This house is so expensive that 6 adults with full-time jobs live there, and they still have trouble making the bills.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. That's maybe a little over the top, but they decide that Jesse decides that he's going to enter his twins into the contest and get back at him, basically just for revenge. He's going to use his kids for revenge. So they enter the contest. So first, there's a subplot of Stephanie asking, what's her name, the oldest one, DJ.
Yeah.
What it means, or how you can tell when a boy likes you. And she says some things like, oh, they'll stare at you. Then when you look over at them, they'll pretend like they're fixing their hair or whatever, and give them a half smile. And then she's like, and what happens then? And she goes, nothing. You're in 5th grade or whatever, 6th grade or whatever grade she's in.
Right.
And so during the twin thing, she sees these two boy twins that are checking her out. And she looks over and they start fixing their hair and everything. She's getting all the signals. So she comes over and, says something to them. And they say, oh, we like to hang out with twins. And this is so weird. I don't know if this was cut for time or why it was in this episode at all, because it's the quickest subplot ever.
It's in real time, 2 minutes.
She goes, oh yeah, I have a twin, because she wants to hang out with these guys. Let me go get her. So she goes and borrows a DJ's hat and coat. For some reason, I don't know why she can't just come back and say, hey, I'm just dressed the same as my twin, like every other fucking twin here.
Yeah, because they were dressed alike.
Yeah. So, but she comes back and says that she's Bethany, Stephanie's sister. And they're like, oh, where's Stephanie? And she comes back. Or she's like, oh, let me go get her. So she runs off, and then she comes back, and somehow, after only those 2 interactions, she mixes herself up with her twin.
Yes.
And then she comes clean immediately and says that she doesn't have a twin. She just liked them and wanted to hang out with them, and they only hang out with twins. And they said, well, we'll make an exception for you. And then Stephanie goes off to be part of a fucking sandwich.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Even the crowd looking like, woo! It's like, well, I think they're 10. I don't think you should be wooing about that.
Right, exactly. It's so creepy. There's another borderline creepy joke in here, too, that I forgot. When Stephanie's talking to DJ about her boy troubles, Kimmy Gibbler,
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
she pipes up and says that you could just get an 800 number like her and advertise it on pay-per-view or whatever.
On late night cable.
Yeah. So I mean, she's just intimating that she has a phone sex line.
Or she's a complete whore that just like fuck her.
Yeah, exactly. They did that on more than one occasion. I remember very specifically, I don't know what episode it was, but they had some sort of flash forward to when they were adults, and Kimmy had huge breasts, and all the guys like fawned over her because of that, even though they hated her when she was a kid.
Yeah, the big joke was when they like, so did you learn anything? He's like, yeah, I'm going to start being much nicer to Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they, that, like you said, like the quickest subplot of all time happens.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have the contest, and apparently there's like 5 sets of twins in this entire contest, because they can all comfortably fit on stage at the same time.
Yep.
And what's funny is they keep cutting from one to the next. It's like, you could just show them all. There's 5 sets of them, and they're on stage for like 1 minute.
Exactly.
But then they, it reveals that the second place winner is the Donnellys, which are those weird-looking twins from Nebraska.
Yep, Mark Lindbaker's
cousin Larry's kids.
Exactly.
And then Nikki and Alex, who dress as miniature Elvis impersonators, because what guy in a 90s metal band doesn't love Elvis?
Right, exactly.
And the crowd loves them, too, because they win.
Yeah, good for them. They're dressed like little blonde Elvi. I think that's the plural of Elvis.
I think you're right. And
yeah, so they win, and that's it. That's basically it's over. Mark Lindbaker runs back with his tail between his legs. And they do a little denouement, I guess. That's the bit after the last bit, where Becky says that, or Jesse says, I don't you sometimes wish that I could buy you a Cadillac or whatever? I wanted to prove that we have good kids, and that we didn't need to buy them into colleges and stuff like that. And Becky says, I don't care about the money. They can get into UCLA on their own or whatever.
Then they chuckle.
Yeah, exactly. But and that's how it ends. Danny gets a call from his girlfriend at one point, and
it's in the middle of a contest.
Basically says, I can't talk now.
Yeah, and then he goes, is that a towel I hear snapping in the background?
Yeah, so his girlfriend is definitely getting fucked by all those football players.
Yeah, probably. They're doing the Super Bowl shuffle on her.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, she's gonna be underneath the fridge. Anyways, so that was the episode. Pretty bad episode of a pretty bad TV show.
I think they're all kind of pretty bad.
Yeah, but we'll check in next week with that. But now we go to the world of celebrity gossip and our ongoing segment, Keeping Current with Mike. Mike, where are we going this week? Who are we going to talk about? Who are we going to try to figure out what's going on with them?
Well, I got a good suggestion for my wife. This is the dailymail.com. I think this is a British paper I've been looking for this whole time.
Okay.
It's like a gossip kind of paper. So yeah,
sounds good.
Dailymail.com.
All right.
/or. .edu.
Does pets.com still exist? I know they went out of business, but someone's got to have it. Oh, PetSmart has it now.
Good for them.
Yeah, pets.com, PetSmart bought it and said, you know what? Go fuck yourselves.
I'll tell you one thing. They don't know how to format a fucking webpage over there in England, because as much as I expand this window, it keeps not fully showing me what I need to see.
Oh, fuck you guys. dailymail.com.uk.co.
Right, I'm going to read what I can that makes sense.
Okay.
Larry King, 85, files for divorce from his all-caps 7th wife, Sean King, 59, after 22 years, as it's rumored their sons have pleaded with TV icon to end marriage over money battle and infidelity.
Wow. I didn't even know that he married the Tampa Bay Buccaneers former quarterback.
Yeah, he did. Let's see, 22 years. He was 63 when she was 37.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if these kids are theirs. I mean, I know who Larry King is. I didn't know his wife's name. I didn't know it was his seventh. I know he has a lot of wives though.
Yeah, so here, I'm on his Wikipedia page. So he was married to Frida Miller from 1952 to 1953. It was annulled. Then Annette K, 61 to 61, divorced. Arlene Atkins, 61 to 63, divorced. Mickey Sutphin, 63 to 67, divorced. Arlene Atkins, 67 to 72, divorced. Sharon Lepori, 76 to 83. Julie Alexander, 89 to 92. And then Sean Southwick, 1997 till now. Fuck. I mean, damn. Like, those are some quick-ass marriages. But this one actually lasted for a while.
Yeah, I guess he's claiming that she was unfaithful to him. I mean, how anyone would cheat on Larry King is, a mystery.
Exactly. I mean, what a virile young man.
Right. If you see one movie all year, make it Jungle to Jungle.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's, whatever. Larry King I don't know. He's going to get married again? I don't really care. I don't care about Larry King in the slightest.
Yeah, I'll bet you he does. Larry King strikes me as one of those people that needs a wife.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Our next story, ripped from the headlines. Donald Trump, in all caps, calls off his upcoming meeting with Denmark's prime minister because she will, all caps, not discuss selling Greenland to the United States.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like an actual headline. You wouldn't think like a few years ago that would just sound like the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah, that's the thing that's scary is that I don't know if that's just bullshit or not.
I'm really conflicted here because obviously I hate the Danish.
Right.
But that's a really fucking dumb idea. What do you need Greenland for?
Okay, well, CNBC also has the story.
It's a real story. I've heard that he's trying to buy Greenland. I just don't understand why.
Yeah, okay, like there's nothing that, like, I could understand if it was like Iceland. I mean, fuck Iceland, but I can understand if it was like Iceland that has like a lot of geothermal power or something like that. Or, like maybe even parts of Canada that have a lot of oil. There's, as far as I know, and I might be wrong, but there's not much in natural resources in Greenland, and there's a giant ice shelf.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
God. So here's a quote. Greenland is not for sale. Greenland is not Danish. Greenland belongs to Greenland. I strongly hope that this is not meant seriously. That's the Danish Prime Minister. Oh my God. That is fucking hilarious. Why the fuck? Why? Oh my God, I don't get this. Okay. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Who gives a shit about Greenland?
Exactly. Our next headline is it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. It's from Leonardo DiCaprio and Sting to Harry and Meghan. I assume that's the King guy. Jet-setting stars salve their eagle conscience by sending money to carbon offset firms. With some replacement force soon dying off, Guy Adams, all caps, is a person, I guess, finds it might be a load of hot air.
Okay.
I'd say I recently read something that I think the Harry and Meghan people, like they like flew somewhere like on a private jet, and like people were upset about that. And then Elton John said he hired it or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always like is ridiculous. Like when Leonardo DiCaprio or any of these people like use a private jet and they're like complaining about the environment. I mean, no, I'm sorry, you can't send money to a carbon offset firm because that's all imaginary. Like the carbon rules, it's not a real thing. You're just paying money as a tax. You're not reducing carbon actually.
Correct. Yep.
It's like with like electric cars. I'm like, yeah, they're cool and stuff, but imagine like the environmental impact of making a battery that big probably isn't much less than a gas using car.
Well, and that's the other thing too is that most of the electrical grid is run by coal. like coal powers most of the, at least around here in the United States, coal powers most of the electrical grid. So it's not that, it might be a small reduction to the carbon footprint, maybe, but it's not huge. I mean, I'm all for doing whatever we can to try to reduce the amount of carbon we put in the atmosphere because, you know, we only have one planet and we probably shouldn't destroy it. But yeah, this whole thing is like ridiculous to me. And for the most part, individuals now doing your own fucking jet and shit like that is ridiculous to me. And I think they should be ashamed of themselves, obviously. But for the most part, like regular people like you and I, we can do a little bit, I guess. But most of what actually needs to happen to change is not anything that we can do. You know, people just can't get together.
Honestly, a big help would be switching almost entirely to nuclear energy, but everybody's so terrified of it, which obviously there's been incidents like, you know, in Japan and Chernobyl, but I mean, it's really the cleanest form of energy to use that we have right now. Well, I mean, I guess solar technically is cleaner, but at the same time, solar is like a fraction of the amount of energy you can get from a nuclear power plant.
It's not efficient enough yet. Solar is the best energy to use for everything if they could ever, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but if they can ever develop the technology to a point where it's efficient. I mean, you know, unfortunately, the reason that fossil fuels are so popular or have been so popular is they're the most fuel efficient source in the world. They're just also, you know, they just also have bad, side effects. But, solar's just not, it's just not efficient enough of an energy source right now. Hopefully one day it will, but I'm totally with you on the nuclear power. I've been an advocate for us using nuclear power for a while now.
I mean, obviously there can be some really bad side effects, but it's the most efficient way to use power currently.
Yep, absolutely. Apparently Guy Adams is an English author, comedian, and actor, possibly best known for the novel The World House. Adams is also a regular writer for Big Finish Productions, who produce audio plays based on Doctor Who, as well as several other properties. Well, good for him. I have no idea what he has to do with the Daily Mail. Maybe he also writes for the Daily Mail, but
maybe you have like a op-ed against him or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's all we're getting from the Daily Mail. I'm done with that.
Yep.
It doesn't seem very interesting. I want to get into like a legit / like a sort of news story about like the president trying to buy Greenland, which is ridiculous. To like, I don't know, some dumb shit like, you know, who cares? I mean, I don't care what the Royals are doing, or I mean, why do they even have them? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand either.
Because England's such a shit country, they don't have any real celebrities.
I do want to, exactly. I do want to point out that that Norm Macdonald told a very funny joke. You liked it. This is what brought it to my attention on Twitter this week about Jeff Epstein. It's basically a play on the Hitler joke that he came up with, but he says that every person is a coin with an obverse and a reverse, and he says many of you will think of Jeffrey Epstein as this horrible person that preyed upon innocent people and destroyed lives. But I like to think of Jeff Epstein as the man who murdered Jeff Epstein.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it was a good one. I love Norm. But now, on to the Parents' Guide game. This week, we've got 2 excellent movies from me and 2 probably shit movies from Mike. No, I'm just joking. But, I'll go first. And this one, I'm going to do this one first. I think we saw this movie in the theater together. I'm almost positive we did. But maybe it was somebody else. So you might not have seen this movie. I'm not sure. But, we'll see.
Sure.
The opening credits run through a sex scene. Breasts are visible. Very brief. The overall scene lasts a minute.
Austin Powers.
No, very, very close, but no.
Let's see. In a club scene, we see a man surrounded by provocative women being kissed by one of them.
A club scene. A
I
man's...
have not seen this movie, just so you know, so that might be a bigger spoiler than I know.
Right. A man, let's see, in a club scene. Shallow Hal.
No.
Okay. Let's see. A man is bashed in the head with a pipe. He's later surrounded in a small pool of blood as he's taken away on a stretcher. More blood becomes apparent on him, and his neck casting... What? And his neck casting as he starts having a seizure and dies of his injuries. Okay, so I'm guessing he had some sort of thing on his neck.
Summer of Sam?
Nope.
A guy and a girl kiss briefly.
Okay. That's a good one. I will say... what's that one movie? Better Off Dead.
No. You keep guessing that. I should pick that one.
A man is stabbed and thrown out to his death. Blood is visible on his shirt and running down one nostril.
Huh. The pipe thing... That sounded kind of familiar. Oh, wait. Oh, I think I know what this is. Irreversible.
No.
No?
No.
Huh.
You said Irreversible, right?
Correct.
No.
A young man takes off his shirt and jumps on a lake. When he gets out of the water, we see him shirtless for a while. He is then attacked by another bare-chested guy. Man, I know you've seen plenty of movies like this. But,
of course.
This is one that was shown in theater.
What one shown in the theater with the guy with the mop? Let's see. I don't know. Twilight?
No.
Many people are shot. Mild blood. One guy is shot in the car. Blood and brain matter splotch onto a windshield behind him.
Memento?
Nope.
Oh, I have to find a good one.
I'm just going down the
guys
list.
Okay, I actually have a surprisingly big amount for this one.
Mm-hmm.
4 guys jump in a swimming pool at night. They are wearing boxers and briefs, and we see their bare chests, backs, legs, and thighs.
No, there's not a club. I was good. For a second, I was thinking Stand By Me, but there's not a club scene in that film.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Wonder Boys?
No.
Frequent gunplay and a car chase. And since that doesn't really tell you anything, I'm going to go down to profanity too. Around 200 F words and other moderate profanity. Are they saying F words are moderate profanity, or that there are other moderate that the other profanity is moderate?
I imagine when you tell me what this is, because a lot of the stuff sounds familiar, but I really have no clue on this one. Shoot. Is the opening sex club scenes, The Matrix 2?
Nope.
Matrix 3?
No. No. No, Monica Bellucci is chef's,
She's an irreversible too.
Chef's kiss.
This is under violence and gore.
Mm-hmm.
The main characters, one guy in particular, act violently throughout the whole movie, threatening other people both verbally, physically, and psychologically. There are 2 murders and 1 instance of animal killing. Some scenes are crude, and blood is seen at times.
Huh. This sounds somewhat familiar too now. Animal murder. Is it?
No.
No, you've seen that. At least the old one.
I saw the recent one too.
Under drugs and alcohol, it just says some cigarette smoking. And then frightening and intense scenes. Lots of intense action violence.
Is this Blade 2?
Nope. You're getting closer, though.
Blade 1?
No, it's not one of the Blade movies, but...
Okay, that's fair. Huh. Shit, I think I might know what it is actually now. But I'll wait till my next guess.
Okay.
A guy kills another man. We do not see anything. The scene is dark and at a distance. Only the killer moving his arm towards the other man's neck. The latter falls down and is implied to die, likely from having his throat slashed by a cutter.
Huh. Jeez, I don't know. Pet Cemetery 2.
No.
All right. This is the last clue on here. Violence and gore. A man is shot 3 times in the chest and stomach area. He falls to the ground where there is a small amount of blood.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is Dust Till Dawn.
No.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh yeah, I have no clue then.
So I'll give you one more hint. So when you said Blade, the reason I said you're kind of close is, one, the star of this movie is later in the MCU. 2, I think this movie was sort of inspired by Blade in a way, in that there's a lot of there's a lot of action, but there's a lot of long jackets and stuff. But it's based on a movie from the 70s.
Is it the Basketball Diaries?
No.
No, I legitimately have no idea.
It stars Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it
It came out in the year 2000.
Oh, is it Shaft?
Yep.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I have never seen that.
Ah, damn it! I thought we saw that together.
No.
All right. Well, it was Shaft 2000.
Fair enough. I'll give you a couple more clues. I'm like 99% sure you've seen this. Actually, I'm 100% my wife said you saw this. So,
Okay.
Let's see. A guy attacks another guy from behind and holds a cutter to his face while keeping his arm tight around his neck. The attacker says, "I'm going to kill you so we can be together forever, all of us, them and the other 2 guys he murdered." After a long while, the guy who's being held tries to break free. The 2 guys fight and hold each other's necks, and one of them hits the other, breaking his nose, and kicks him in the face.
A cutter? I mean, like a...
I assume it's a box cutter, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen this.
Shit, man. This does not sound familiar to me for some reason. We'll be together forever. And it's like 4 dudes.
Dudes, boys, same thing.
Right? Man. I don't know. The Omen?
No. I'll give you one more. Right, I was trying to find one that to me sounds very specific, but again, I haven't seen.
Right.
A group of young men and women cut themselves in a ritual to offer blood to their father, Satan. A guy cuts his palm with a cutter. A lot of cutter in this fucking movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Another guy cuts his fingertip with a cutter, and the others are implied to do the same. They cut themselves off screen. We see blood dripping on a rock. A guy collects it with a cutter, and then smears it on his abdomen with his fingers, making a cross form out of it.
Okay, now this does sound really familiar. It's not the Lost Boys.
Boys is in the title. I'll give you that clue.
Yeah, it's oh shoot. Boys on the Side, the Drew Barrymore movie? No.
Yes.
Damn it. Oh, what is it called? I can't think of the title.
Black Circle Boys.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. God, yeah. We watched that once. Yeah, I didn't even remember the title of that. But yeah, I've seen it. We watched it once like a long time ago. Oh, yeah. That movie's messed up.
Sounds like it.
All right.
Ready for round two? Maybe at least one of us will get it this time.
Yeah. So I think you'll get this one probably. Okay, so violence and gore, comic fighting and explosions, nothing graphic or unsettling.
Team America.
Nope.
Mild cigarette smoking throughout the film.
Let's see. K-Pax.
No.
Profanity. Frequent profanity, lots of fucks, crude sexual slang, and generally graphic language throughout.
Go.
Nope.
Characters ordered drinks at a bar several times.
200 cigarettes.
No.
Okay, I'll give you drugs and alcohol and fighting and intense scenes together. Drugs, alcohol, and smoking. Some smoking and drinking throughout the movie. Frightening and intense scenes? None.
I have no idea. Let's say... Footloose.
No.
Several police cars chase one character and two other men who joyride in a pickup truck.
Groundhog Day?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay, so everything else is under sex and nudity for this movie.
Okay.
Let's see. There is constant sexual innuendo and humor portrayed in a way so lighthearted, it's almost downright innocent. Oh my god. That is the best fucking... That is the best entry in the Parent's Guide ever. I didn't read that before I read it. There is constant sexual innuendo and humor portrayed in a way so lighthearted, it's almost downright innocent.
Last Tango in Paris.
No. Lots and lots of vagina-shaped objects are shown throughout the movie, and one character wears a dildo on his head in several scenes.
And Chota Boy?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh my god. That is so funny. I think when you said Team America World Police, I was like, I had to really hold my tongue there. But like that first one is so funny to me. But yeah, that's it. So that is the Parent's Guide game. Now we will move on to our, quote, main topic today. Mike, what have you been watching?
I don't remember if I think I did mention this last time, maybe not, but I've been watching pretty much exclusively Mr. Robot this whole week.
Oh yeah, Mr. Robot. How's that going?
I like it. It's very it's a show that you really have to pay a lot of attention to. So often I'll find myself playing on my phone or something. I'll have to rewind it and see what the hell's going on, or I'll read summaries, to see what the fuck I just watched.
Right.
What I did notice is it's weird. It's very similar in a lot of ways to the movie Fight Club.
Okay.
It's like they're like an underground organization trying to destroy credit, so everyone will be on par with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even they even use songs. They use the song "Where's My Mind" by the Pixies, which is at the very end of Fight Club. They have it kind of incidentally appear in the show and stuff.
Yep.
It's kind of weird. I mean, that's and oh yeah, that's the part that really annoyed me. One of the things I was reading about it, because I was wondering if it was a direct ripoff of Fight Club, because there's so many similarities. And I read this most ridiculous article. This person's the reason that it's different than Fight Club is Mr. Robot loves women and Fight Club hates them, which is not what Fight Club is about at all. Unless you're the biggest idiot in the fucking world and you watch Fight Club.
Yep. I agree. I've heard so many people talk about the misogyny of Fight Club and like this and that
toxic
stuff.
Masculinity.
Exactly. And it's no, you don't I can see how someone would think that, if they're viewing the movie in the most basic, like I'm not going to think anything about this way. But if you're going to do that, don't write a fucking article.
Yeah, the movie is very philosophical. And I mean, this is for like BuzzFeed, so it's not like you're like, taking a future Pulitzer Prize winner to write this fucking article.
Right, no kidding.
Their last article is 4 ways that you're just like Harry Potter.
Oh my god.
And then their other article is, which pope are you?
What bean are you?
Right.
I got Lima. Which bean are you? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's just, I enjoy the show. It's very, like, it's actually, like, the computer, like, stuff they do is actually pretty realistic, which is very refreshing. It's not like NCIS where there's 2 people typing on a fucking computer at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
And then no one even thinks to pull the plug in that NCIS show because they're all fucking idiots.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely like a step of, like, a lot of people call it like a modern version of Fight Club, which is kind of ridiculous because Fight Club's like 20 years old this year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoy it so far. I'm only on like season 2, and I think there's 3 that are all out on Amazon Prime. Then season 4 is coming out, and that might be the last season, but I'm not positive.
Nice. I like when things are tight and to the point.
Yeah. What have you been watching?
I finished The Boys, which I mentioned last week, which was I liked it a lot. That's another one that there's a lot of satire. There's a lot of kind of there's philosophy behind it. Like I mentioned before, I think that Garth Ennis likes to write things about organized religion. Obviously he's an atheist. I think he likes to write things about organized religion, about the government, about corporations and things like that. And he has to do it in the guise of superheroes because he was a comic book writer, but he fucking hates superheroes. It's really clear he does. So yeah, it's, it's funny too because it ends kind of like on a cliffhanger, and it's so weird to watch something that ends on a cliffhanger now. With the way everything's binged and stuff like that now, it's almost like, oh yeah, I remember when shows used to end on cliffhangers. I remember when L.A. Law was going on summer hiatus, and that one girl that everyone hated stepped into the elevator shaft, and there was no elevator there, and she just fell down. It's like it's so weird that to watch a show on Netflix where that happens. But it's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked a lot of the character development of the show. I think Garth Ennis has a pretty big hand in the development of the show, so I think that helps. I think they're probably going to do around 3 seasons, I guess. There are, like I said, there are 72 episodes, there's 72 comics as like their source material for it. And based on how many of the comics they covered in one season, I think they're going to go 3. So I think it's going to be 3 and out, which, is basically, I think is probably the perfect length for most things. Some things I maybe can't make 3 seasons. Like 2 seasons might be, like as much as they can go. And there are some things where it's just 1 season is, you can only get 1 season out of certain premises. But I think 3 seasons is probably like the perfect amount if you've got enough material to get you there. And I'm really looking forward to it. The other thing that I've been watching is, I've only watched a couple episodes of it so far, but is Mindhunter, which is a new show on Netflix. The 2nd season just came out like a few days ago, but the original season came out in 2017, and it's like, I'm really into it. I didn't watch the first season when it first came out, so I've started there. But it's about the early days of profiling for serial killers from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So I think the season 1 set in 1977. I think in season 2 they go to 1980, I think. But basically it follows these FBI, they're the behavioral science unit, which has kind of just come to be. and it follows these two guys, Holden Ford and Bill Tench, as they interview imprisoned serial killers to try to begin to make profiles that other police officers and things can use. It's really well acted. It's a very interesting show. I did a lot of research I wrote a book about a serial killer that actually turned into a series about a serial killer. But I read a lot about the early days of criminal profiling and stuff like that, kind of his background. And I've always found that really interesting. And I've always found serial killers interesting. I think a lot of people do. I think, one of the reasons people find them interesting is because of, like, we talked about this a little bit when we talked about the what's his name tapes. The most famous.
Bundy.
Yeah, Ted. I was gonna say like the most famous guy. The Ted Bundy tapes. I think a lot of people are interested in it because it's so different from the way that most people think, that it's interesting just in the weirdness of it, the difference of how they think and different things that they go through and stuff like that. It's drama, and I think that's one of the things that's interesting about it. I know I haven't quite gotten to all of it yet, all the first season yet, like I said, but I know they've got they have people playing Richard Speck, David Berkowitz, John Wayne Gacy, Charles Manson, and William Henry Hance. So they use real people. I mean, not obviously they're actors, but they use people playing real people, as part of this. It's not obviously based on reality, but it's based on. I mean, they did do this at the beginning of the FBI's behavioral science unit, but it's not a true story. It's just kind of based on events that happened. But yeah, it's a really interesting show. I think you'd like it too, Mike.
I basically burned out on like serial killers when I was like probably like 16 or 17. I just read like so many books and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, yeah, not really interested anymore. But I have a theory that I think like if you notice, mostly like younger women are like terrified, like they obsessed with like serial killers sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I think it's like because like for women like an interpersonal murder like that is much more like realistic and like a real like terrifying like thing. It's almost like a cultural thing, whereas to prevent it you have to learn as much as you can about it, because like basically every woman in my office is obsessed with like serial murders.
Mm-hmm.
Like they all listen to podcasts and like talk about them, and I've listened to that one, and it's just all like horrible things. It's just like it's almost like a way to like kind of like I guess live it without having to. It's like a way to like almost like proof yourself against like horror or something.
Yeah, I can see that, how it's sort of almost not necessarily a catharsis, but like you said, kind of one
it's
of
like a release.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Mike.
Would you say that was cathartic?
Yeah, that was cathartic. But yeah, so it is kind of like how people will view horror movies and they'll be scared, but it's being scared in a safe way.
Yeah, kind of the same thing, but obviously, that's much more realistic than like, Freddy Krueger or, Jason Voorhees or,
right.
What's his name?
That guy, yep. Michael Myers?
No, that's not him. It's, shit, I don't know.
Citizen Kane?
Harvey Weinstein, that's it.
Oh, I knew you were building towards an incredible joke. Have you been watching anything else other than Mr. Robot Chicken?
Mr. Robot Chicken? No, not really. I've watched like a couple episodes of Futurama I've seen before. That's about it. There's a new episode of Hot Ones I saw. I can't remember who was on it.
Was it the Idris Elba one?
I saw that one. That was a couple weeks ago. This most recent. Oh, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw it came up on my notifications on YouTube. I have to watch that.
Yeah, so I watched that, but I'm basically Mr. Robot is all I've been watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out Mr. Robot for sure.
Yeah, I've been looking at The Boys and reading about it. It does sound kind of interesting. I might check that out, actually.
Yeah, anyone that's got Amazon out there, I think it's worth it. It's
Mr. Robot's on Amazon as well.
It's only 8 episodes. They're hour-long episodes, but there's only it's only 8 of them, and it's it's pretty tightly compacted. And like I said, it can be viewed as a single thing. They already got re-upped for a second season, so I know there's going to be a second season. But it can be sort of viewed as in a lot of ways as a self-contained thing. But I think it's definitely worth it. I think it's an interesting thing, and I think it's you not liking superhero stuff. I think it's perfect for someone that doesn't like superhero things. Honestly,
I just don't like things with no gray area. And I know obviously The Boys has a lot of gray area.
Oh yeah,
about it
for sure.
Much like The Watchmen does. I just don't like oh, we're the heroes. Let's always do the good thing. Oh, I did one slightly bad thing, but now everything's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they do try to. There's a lot of they try to humanize some of the characters that do bad things in the show, but it's still I still think you've done so many horrible. Fuck you. You know what I mean? I get what they're trying to do, but it's like I don't have sympathy. But Carol did feel some sympathy for some of the characters that it worked on her as far as because they do try to show multifaceted different sides like people really are. And you would think if somebody had unlimited power like this, they'd probably be fucking monsters.
Right, like the Cyrus clan.
Exactly. Yeah, they have too much power, those Cyruses. Burn them to the ground. Who did, don't really do that. I mean, if someone burns the Cyrus mansion to the ground, I don't want to get blamed for it. So don't, I mean, if you
use a cock rocket...
If you want to do it and you were going to do it anyway, I guess don't let us dissuade you. But,
yes.
But don't do it because we told you to, because...
And definitely don't tag us on Twitter if you do this.
Right, exactly. At Massive Late Fee. It's like that meme with that girl smiling with the fire in the background, but it's just the Cyrus mansion and someone tagging at Massive Late Fee.
And they have a shirt that says, I hate Swedes on it.
Oh, hey, Fox, I just looked up the Cyrus Mansion for some reason. And this Fox News report came out. Miley Cyrus spotted basically having sex with Caitlyn Carter at club. And then it says, report. Like, what the fuck? But, let's see. Miley Cyrus was reportedly spotted basically having sex inside a California club on Friday with Caitlyn Carter. I don't know who that is. Not long after photos of the two getting cozy during an Italian getaway surfaced. Cyrus is 26, Carter is 30. They couldn't keep their hands off of each other. I guess they're... I don't know. I don't know who this is.
I read something about this because the name triggers me. To use the terminology of people I hate. Yeah, I was reading something that actually was kind of interesting. Like, this isn't really related to the hateful clan of the Cyruses, but it was somebody who had worked with. No, it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Mm-hmm. This woman who was she was a stand-up comedian, but she was a special ed teacher at one point. But she said that a lot of these words like safe space and triggered are actually words that were initially used to deal and describe autistic kids. Mm-hmm. It's triggers and safe words and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of weird that they would just use, adults who have trouble acting like adults.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That's what they said. I don't know how true it is, but back to the Cyrus clan. Yeah, fuck them all. I hate them. I think the one Millie Cyrus is not with her husband anymore, who's Thor or Thor's brother or something. Maybe Thor's cousin. I don't know. It might be Thor. I'm not really sure.
Is there another Cyrus?
What? No. She was married to Thor's brother, I think.
Miley Cyrus was?
Yeah, I think so. And now they're not together anymore.
Oh, Liam Hemsworth. Okay. I've heard that name before.
Yeah, I don't really know who it is. He might have been in the Hunger Games, maybe? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, he does. He does look a little like... He looks... Poor guy. He looks like a very smaller, not as handsome version of his brother.
I wonder if it's like the Mannings, where like there's like yet a third one who's like doing the accounting for the first two.
Yeah, I don't know. Miley Cyrus and
How
Liam.
bad would that be?
Here's another Fox News. God, Fox News is all over this story. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth may never get back together after Caitlyn Carter hookup. Reports. You don't need to tell me that it's a report. What else? Like what's the other thing? Opinion?
Thought?
Yeah, I don't get it. But anyway, so that's
maybe with a question mark after it.
That's what's going on with Miley Cyrus and whoever Caitlyn Carter is, and poor Liam Hemsworth.
Sad.
Yeah, but that.
Well, can you imagine though being the third Manning brother?
Oh, I know.
Like people like to rip on Eli, but he's like, well, at least I'm not a fucking accountant.
We had a situation similar to that in our high school, and I always felt bad for the guy. But those of you that follow football might know the name John Jansen. John Jansen was a right tackle for the Washington Redskins for many years, I think 10 or 11 years. And he played for the Detroit Lions for a little bit. He also started his career in college at the University of Michigan, playing for the national championship team in 1997. He went to the high school that Mike and I went to, and he had an older brother named Matt, who was a very good basketball player and went to college on a basketball scholarship. Obviously, John got a scholarship to the University of Michigan. They had a third brother that was a couple grades ahead of Mike and I, named Dave, who was like, I think he was shorter than me.
Yeah, he was like very slight and short.
Yeah, John.
It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day because on the local radio, John Jansen's often like a guest host when someone can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I hear him, what's up with Dave right now? So I didn't know he had an older brother, but I always think about man, that sucks. Like your brother's like this, 6'5", tight end turned tackle.
Mm-hmm.
You said.
Yep. Yeah, and Matt, I think, is like an inch or two taller than John. Not as big, not as strong, but still pretty big and a little taller than John. And Dave's, like I said, Dave was just like a regular size. They're like giants, and Dave was like a regular size human.
Yeah. I don't even know if he was especially short, but he was he's
just normal.
Maybe, yeah, just regular. It's like of Penn and Teller, whatever you see them Teller looks like super short, but Teller's like 5'10".
Yeah. It's just Penn is enormously tall.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'8" or something crazy like that.
Yeah, he's huge. I saw him in person one time when I was in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
He is fucking enormous.
Yeah, I'd like to see them. They come to Windsor sometimes, but I don't have a passport. But I'm a huge fan of them for sure.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm sorry. But yeah, like you said, this has been Massive Late Fee.
Yep.
You know where to find us. Fuck Sweden. We love you, Amsterdam. Good night.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye.